And I said, who let them in, right? We didn't design the internet for criminals, and they showed up, right? So you have to assume the same thing is going to happen with this technology. And I think the most important thing is to put in the observational systems to watch for it. And we should be able to create surveillance systems within the internet to watch for bad actors, at least in the extreme cases. I'm worried about it for the following reason. In our lifetimes, in the next 5 or 10 years, every single human on the planet who has a mobile phone, cell phone, will have access to Einstein, Leonardo da Vinci, whomever, in some form. We've never had that devolution of power. We've never had that decentralized empowerment of humans. Now, this group, I trust. There's an awful lot of wacky countries and wacky cultures and wacky religions, where I'm not sure I would trust their collective action being consistent with our values.
For sure.
Right. And I think history will judge us based on how we make how we handle the humans as this intelligence evolution occurs and empowers individuals.
So the most famous use case, obviously, of AI right now is the large language models. I mean, they're the ones that are being used day in and day out. What would you say are probably going to be, let's say, the top 1 or 2 or 3 next use cases that you think are going to change things? And maybe 1 or 2 that people aren't thinking about?
Well, so today there are sort of 3 things going on. I'll simplify it. Language stuff, that's what we were joking about with large language models. There's something called the agentic revolution, where you have agents. An agent takes language in, it has memory, and it produces something. So it says, I want to do a conference in Miami. And it selects the venue, and then it calls the mayor, and the mayor says yes, because the mayor is very pro-business. And then it calls the security people, and then it calls the contractors, and then it designs the stadium. Each of these is a work plan, right? Over and over again, that's workflow. Workflow is what happens in business. The technical industry believes 2 things. First, the scaling laws, which are the laws of improvement, are not slowing down. The crazy investment that you see is there for a reason. They're seeing the kind of gains, this factor of 10 every year, are continuing to come. It's pretty amazing. And most importantly, with that investment comes everything else that we talked about. It's enormously expensive. And by the way, we're going to run out of electricity before we run out of money, which is a separate discussion. But the important thing is you have language. The next thing, and then you have agents, and these agents do everything. There's something called agent orchestration, where you can move the agents around. And the third one is essentially reasoning. You now have systems that can pass math tests, chemistry tests, biology tests, and so forth at the graduate level and beat the humans. That's really remarkable. And I've watched them, and I have no idea what problems they're solving. And you can watch them go forward, it doesn't work, they problem solve like a human being. The union of those is the power. That will give us the power to innovate, to address our problems. And the thought experiment that I would give you is, let's imagine that one of the American companies, I obviously have my own bias, but we'll pick somebody else, whoever, manages to get to the point where these systems can solve problems that humans have never been able to solve. What is the value of that company? How many trillions of dollars in one company?
Infinity.
Right, it's literally, I mean, think about all the problems you face every day, and it can solve every one of them. And you can sit there and drink coffee and, sort of
My wife just solves most of them, but that's okay.
That's right. The important thing is that we're on the threshold of being able to have truly new innovation. And that's the hype, that's the promise. If we don't get there, people will be destroyed just from their own hype. I mean, it's extraordinary.
I'm going to ask one last question. It's a follow-up to the problem that you presented. Is SMRs, which are small-scale modular reactors, is that the solution for that energy gap that you're talking about, or is it going to be something else?
We need more energy in America. We need every kind of energy. We need nuclear. We need fusion. We need natural gas. We need renewables. We need wind. We need solar. We need it all. Why? Because those data centers, which account for 1% of GDP growth this year in America, need power. If you want that 3% growth that the president of this have talked about, you need to solve the energy problem.
Eric, thank you so much. What a provocative conversation.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Can I read one thing?
Go, of course.
I was thinking a lot about, you gave me the honor to talk to this incredible group about the frontier. In 1893, a fellow named Frederick Turner talked about the frontier. And he said, to the frontier, the American intellect owes its striking characteristics. This is 150 years ago. That coarseness and strength combined with acuteness and inquisitiveness, that practical, inventive turn of mind, quick to find expedients, that masterful grasp of material things, lacking in the artistic but powerful to effect great ends, that restless, nervous energy, that dominant individualism, working for good and evil, and with all that buoyancy and exuberance which comes with freedom. These are the traits of the frontier. This is America. This is us. This is why we're here. This is why you're a great leader. Thank you very much.
That was in 1893.
1893.
You know what happened 3 years later?
What's that?
You know what happened 3 years later?
What?
The city of Miami was established. 1896.
1896.
There you go.
Happy birthday to Miami.
There we
Thank
go.
you. Okay, Mayor.
Thank
Okay,
you,
good.
my friend.
Thank you, guys.
At the Adam Smith Center for Economic Freedom, you don't just learn,